Looky here. It is another episode of Realities May Vary, the podcast that does whatever it wants because really nobody's paying us to do anything different. That's Cody Gough. I'm Brian Noonan. Do you have dandruff? What are you picking off your shirt?
Grooming myself.
Like an orangutan?
Yep.
Like an orange guten, as I used to say when I was a child and didn't know that orangutan was a word.
Clever.
I would just see it. Yes, I didn't know what it was. How are you?
I'm good. You look a little lighter. You look,
I look
like
different.
You don't weigh as much. Like maybe you lost some mass. I don't know. It's something different about you, Brian.
Yeah, the era of the long hair is over. Over. I went. I got it. Well, after I shaved on the last podcast to raise money for your winter hootenanny. What was it called? Shiditarod.
Yeah, Shiditarod.
For how did that go? By the way,
went great. Raised hundreds of dollars. Oh, wait, that wasn't last week. Oh, we didn't do a thing.
2 weeks ago, we didn't do a thing last week, which we'll get into in a few minutes.
We'll get into that in a minute. But let's talk about your hair.
All right. Well, the hair. I knew the hair was coming. You know, I'd been talking about it for a while that I was going to finally pull the trigger and cut the hair because one, for a lot of reasons. One, it was getting ridiculous, but nobody would tell me. Like I would ask Debbie and Molly, I go, I'm thinking of getting my hair cut. What do you think? Well, it's your hair, which should have been enough for me to know that, they wanted me to get it cut. But they wouldn't say anything. And I try to impress on them. If I ask for your opinion, I want it. Mm-hmm. If you just came up to me one day and man, your hair looks like crap, that would be offensive. But if I say, what do you think? Give me your opinion. They would give me my, I would hope. But anyway, so I kind of knew. And then once I shaved, I didn't like that there was so much on the side. It was insane. There was so much. And then the top was, because the top is kind of thinning a little bit, it would fall into like a middle part. And it just started looking dumb. Plus, I'm not a dirty hippie. I'm past the age of being a long hair guy, I guess. I didn't like the feeling of, after all these years of not having hair, I didn't like the feeling of hair on my ears. And so as the hair got longer and I tried to push it back so it wouldn't be on my ears, it kind of looked like a mullet. And there were days when I'd look and I'd go, oh, that looks okay. But then there were a lot of days where I was like, I got to do something about it. So I pulled the trigger. I made the appointment and went to the salon that you go to as well. I can't believe I'm saying salon, but I went. And I went in and I said, okay, it's over. I'm done with the long hair, but I don't know what to do. So here's what I don't like about my hair right now. And maybe you can figure it out. So I told him, and it's basically the same shape it was, but it's easier to manage. It's shorter, but not short like I had it before. Mm-hmm. And now I'm clean shaven and my hair is shorn, and I went to school, and one of the fifth graders rather, who's one of the biggest problems that I have to deal with. The kid's been a challenge since first grade. This is how old I am. So he and another one of his troublemaking cadre, they go, Mr. Noonan, did you get your hair cut? And I went, I got them all cut. And you would have thought I asked them to solve for pi. They looked at me like they had no clue what I was talking about. I go, it's a joke. I got them all cut. And they still looked at me blank-faced. Like they had absolutely zero idea of what was going on. So I just said, yeah, I got my hair cut. And then he said, did you shave that beard and mustache too? So I took my mask off and he's like, oh, you look 27. So now he's in my will. That's right. Now he's 27. My favorite kid. Now he's my favorite kid of all time now.
Wow.
Said I look 27.
I was gonna use the get all. Did you get them all? You got a bunch of them. I was gonna use that joke in another. So I guess I'm old too.
Yeah. Well, it's a classic. There's a reason it's a classic.
Mm-hmm.
So but not to what I've learned is not to current fifth graders. It's not a classic.
Mm.
They have absolutely no clue what it means.
Mm.
So so it's back. It is the oldest dad joke ever, Mike. That's why, and I could be. Well, I'm not the oldest dad ever, but it's just I figured it was a dumb joke for a fifth grader, they might laugh.
Well, yeah, I still say you spike it up. You do the Cody look.
I don't know, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe not.
Well,
I mean,
for now it's I one of the male teachers today went, Noonan looking sharp today, because he didn't see me yesterday when I debuted the new cut at school.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. A couple of the lady teachers, very, very impressed with the new look. So
Can't turn it off.
I can. I'm musky. I'm spraying musk all over the place. I'm just pure sexuality walking down the street.
You're
I'm
like
impregnating
Elon.
people just with a gaze. Yeah, I'm spraying my Elon Musk. It's all electric. It's electric. It's electric. That's right. So yeah, so that's the I'm back to almost pre-pandemic look. Debbie was like, "Oh, you look much younger. I like it much better. Your face looks thinner, blah 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 blah."
Which is different than the prepubescent look. Very different.
Well, I am let's just say some things are reminiscent of that. Some areas.
We said it. And here we are. Yeah. Well,
here we are.
I'm
listen,
fully
I had
behind. Oh, I'm fully behind. I think it's a huge upgrade from that hideous monstrosity that we had to all suffer for the last several years.
It's amazing.
You never asked for my opinion, Brian. So I had no opportunities to tell you.
Wow. We've brought it up on here many times.
Yeah, I know. You know the name of the podcast is misspelled in the graphic, right?
Still?
While we're on the subject of things that
you did not say. Yeah, things that you do not confront me about. All right.
Oh, that was funny to me and me alone. I you look sharp. Cheers to you. I just finished my Mountain Dew, so I can't really toast, but
that's all right. Well, because St. Patrick's Day is this week, I am going for Guinness, which is very exciting.
Guinness, I hardly knew her.
Wow, you are out of your mind tonight.
I am. I'm always out of my mind. Dude, I really can't get into any details, but I will just say my new job has me at the end of the day brain dead. Just straight brain dead.
Really?
It's just it's energizing, it's challenging, it's rewarding.
It's paying the mortgage.
I think I'm enjoying it more than I'm having more fun than I was in my last job.
Nice.
Many days. And
have you decided what kind of boss you're going to be? We were discussing that last time. Have you been reading all sorts of leadership manuals, going to TED Talks, taking a master class?
I'm getting there. I don't know. I just kind of tell it like it is and ask people for their input. Because I'm new, I've got it's easy being new somewhere. Because, if people ask you, well, what do you think of like this person? I'll be like, I defer to this person because I haven't met that person,
Right. I don't know. We haven't worked together yet.
Yeah. Right. Or like, I have an opinion about something, but I am happy to be proven wrong because I've only been around for 3 weeks. I don't know what's going on around here. So
how long do you get away with that?
I don't know. And I thought about that a lot because when I was at the global management consulting firm, we had this like VP of some global thing. Like she was like a big exec in our New York office. She like joined then immediately went on maternity leave. I think like the day she started, it was kind of one of those like, well, we want to make sure you're hired, but like you can still do this. It was good.
Okay.
But I remember distinctly somebody commented because after she'd been at the company for at least, I think it was a full year, she will still like kick off meetings by saying like, I'm just the new person here. I'm still figuring things out. And I feel like a year's a bit much.
Yeah. If I'd say a couple months, maybe 6 months tops.
Yeah.
Tops. But after a year, if you don't know what's going on, you really shouldn't be there.
I'm going to say end of April. Like I can comfortably say it till the end of April.
Yeah.
And then I'm screwed.
Right. Then you got to be the man.
To
be the man, you got to beat the man.
Woo!
Woo! Oh, sad news. Speaking of that, Scott Nash died today.
Scott Hall.
Kevin Nash did not die. Kevin Nash died today.
Yeah. Sucks. Razor Ramon. Rip.
Right on. Rip. Rest in power, brother.
Yeah.
Brother.
But in better news, we fed a bunch of families for charity.
Yes, let's get back to the Chai Didarood.
Yeah, I don't remember even exactly the dollar amount that my team raised, but it was upwards of 2,000. I think it was close to 3. And it was great. I should find one picture
You
to
should find one picture to share with us.
share. And I know that my team shared lots of pictures. So I I just remembered I took exactly one photo at the event. And
Because you didn't want to be a basic bitch.
no, just because well, no, the photo was an action shot that I took specifically to send to someone. I will share that right now. So, Brian, if you want to full screen this, it's gonna
Yeah.
be. Oh wait, I gotta open it here. You'll get it in
Open it
1
up.
second. Hang on. I
It's
gotta pull
very
it up.
exciting. I can't wait.
Here we go. Here's the one picture of me from Shiditarod.
This is very exciting. Fireball, and what's the other one?
It's a beer. I think
A
it's
beer?
I think it's a Miller High Life.
Oh,
Mhm.
the champagne of beers.
Yeah, it's a Miller High Life, but you can see the koozie is like Alamo beer, I guess. It's
Okay.
whatever they drink in King of the Hill.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You know what I'm
Because
talking
you guys
about?
were doing the King of the Hill. Was Fireball featured in King of the Hill? I don't remember.
Fireball was not, but hold on,
But
I'm
you
looking
have
up.
to have some
I'm looking at
Fireball.
my phone so I can log into Facebook so I can grab these photos. There's so much technology happening. It's
Are you
just-
sure you were there? It looks like you were at a construction site or at a site of a pothole refilling.
Doesn't
Put
it,
up
though?
a lot of your personal information on there. Throw that up there too.
Do I have
Got
personal
anything with your
information on
bank
there?
account? Yeah, you hit some document
What? When?
right 2 seconds ago.
I don't remember doing that.
Well,
We'll
you
just
may not
close
remember
that.
it, but I'm
Stop
telling
sharing.
you.
We'll just stop
Yeah,
that.
stop sharing. You know,
Uh,
you know.
all right, I'm gonna have to go back and edit that. What did I pull
So
up? Hold on, now I gotta look.
I don't know. Yeah, it was just some. It was only up there for a second,
Yeah,
but
no,
hackers from the dark
Hackers.
web could probably figure it all out.
Right, where is my downloads photo? Now there's a
I think it
whole
was
thing.
It was your mortgage bill.
Mm,
I don't know what it was.
First of all, where's the picture I just downloaded? This is
Is this your first day on a computer, Mom?
this is a nightmare. This is a nightmare. What? There's nothing else I could have pulled up. I don't even
So-
have any documents
all right.
on here.
Okay. Am I wrong? I don't think so.
Yes.
No,
no.
something came up that was not a picture.
The point is that
Yes, what's the point? You made a lot of money. You fed a lot of people.
we did.
You drank beer and Fireball. Now, did you bring your family with you to this?
No, I did not.
No.
It was kind of an open block party, but I don't know. I just wanted to preserve the spirit of the Shiditarod, which is I kind of disappear somewhere and get super drunk and then stumble home. It's a kind of fun story. So our team raised $3,840 for
Congrats.
the Shiditarod Foundation, benefiting the Greater Chicago Food Depository, and we donated. Our total gathered 146.8 pounds of food.
Wow, very
About
nice.
$4,000 and about 150 pounds of food. It's pretty cool. The Shiditarod, the overall event raised $106,000.
Nice.
To help solve food insecurity in Chicago while staying safe. And there are pictures.
Is it solved? Is the problem solved?
I think it's pretty well solved. I'm about to share a picture of King of the Hill from the judging, and I think this turned out pretty well.
Oh, there is a judging for the groups?
So this is the really cool thing. So typically there's a bunch of different categories of judging. This year, they basically they have the judges kind of at a line, and at one point you could be part of the block party parade where you would walk up and then do some kind of 3 to 5 minute skit or performance or routine or dance routine, who knows, in front of the judges. I didn't see any of them except for ours. I will say there was one cart that the theme of the cart was Wordle.
All right.
So everyone on the team was wearing a white, a green, or a yellow shirt. And then their cart, actually, they built basically those spinny things, like kebabs with blocks on them, where they could spin and people could go up to the cart and actually guess the word, and they would spin the wordle to show you
hilarious.
what you were just. You could kind of play live. That's kind of fun. That was theirs. Ours was basically we just acted like the characters from King of the Hill, and I'm gonna.
And you're Boomhauer, correct?
I was Boomhauer, yes. And here is that picture. Sorry, that took me a second. to pull up, but I should be sharing my screen. If you're able to pull that up, boom, there it is. So yeah, and that our team name is Six Pack Attack. So so that's what the trash bag says. It says something like something team Six Pack Attack. And so for our performance, this was actually an 11th hour thought by me. So you know what happens during the King of the Hill opening credits, right?
I haven't seen it in a long time. I know it goes in fast motion.
Yeah, exactly. So it's them standing around drinking beer, and I'm going to share this other image now. They're standing around drinking beer. You kind of have to have seen the show to understand this, but they're standing around drinking beer, and it's like a fast motion of everything happening around them.
Right.
So it's like really, really fast. A dump truck comes in and picks up the trash and drives away. But it does it in like 1 second, right? And then like the car pulls up with Peggy, and then she like gets out, gets something, gets back in, drives away. And then like a dog runs in and then like runs around everyone like 4 times. But they do it in like 1 second, right? Like it's like a fast.
And those guys never move.
And they never move, right? The joke is that like all this stuff is happening around them, and people are moving couches, and dogs are running in and out, and the kids riding a bike, but they're just standing there drinking beer over and over, and the recycling bin gets fuller and fuller. So I thought, wouldn't it be funny? We had an extra teammate, Maria, who was playing Bobby. Bobby's not really in the opening credits. He's not drinking, right? Bobby just does a couple other things. I was like, what if she just ran in and held up a picture of an object opening credits and then ran out and then kept doing that? So there's like a really, really low budget, super cheesy version of the opening credits. So we literally stood there and drank beer while she did this. Like, ran in, held up a picture of a dump truck, ran out, right? Like it just did that. And I printed these on my computer. And when I printed them, I did it in like low res where you could see the background of like it looked like it was just ripped from the show, which it was.
Okay.
So like, look, right, that's her running in.
Oh, there's her thing.
With the picture of the dump truck, and we're just standing there drinking beer and not doing anything. And we won a prize.
Did you really?
We actually, so each of the bars traditionally on the pub crawl, where it usually is a pub crawl, each of the pubs and bars give out an award. We got the best in show from Phyllis's.
Really?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Phyllis's bar. So, and that's like the oldest bar that's is part of the Iditarod. So we were extremely excited. Like I said, it was like very low budget and pretty silly, but yeah, I was happy with it. So
that's hilarious.
There's our little King of the Hill stardom. It was very fun.
Very
Fun.
nice.
Yeah. So thank you for participating. I mean, Brian, you are responsible for a huge amount of the funds raised. So
well, no, I was happy to do it. And as I'm finding out, everybody I know is happy that I did it. So that was, they were really happy with the outcome of the vote. So, there you go. And to be honest, I was kind of done with it too, so I was happy to do it and happy to help. And I'm glad it worked out. And so what'd you get? What'd you win from Phyllis's? Just a bunch of beers?
I think like a trophy or something. I mean, our team captain, Alicia, really drives it every year. She's just like on top of it and makes sure that the fundraising is always checking in with us. And she always gets the cart because you have to secure a cart from somewhere.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You either borrow it from a store, or you like find one in an alley.
Wink, wink.
Because it's Chicago.
Yeah.
No, but then.
Or you knock over a guy on Lower Wacker, take his.
I mean, oh man, I was on Lower Wacker. I was on Lower Wacker a couple weeks ago.
Why in God's name would you be on Lower Wacker?
Because I got
panhandling, looking for rats.
Toad.
Mm-hmm. You got towed?
Yeah, that was fun.
Your family vehicle?
Yeah.
The family. Wait a minute. I know you're a suburbanite now, but you have really fallen away from your city roots. Where did you park that you got towed?
I parked in the exact same place I have parked the last 12 times I've gone to Northwestern Memorial Hospital because I was going in for my endocrinology checkup.
Okay.
The last 3 times I went in for a checkup, I did that when my wife was pregnant, and I would bring her downtown to get, her checkups or whatever. I would park in there. There's that big park in the middle of the campus.
Yes.
It's like the whole block is just green.
Yes.
And right all around the park is street parking. You could
Okay.
always park around the street on, okay, great. Avoid the fire hydrants, call it a day. I've parked on every side of it. Okay. Well, I park on the south side of it, which
Okay.
apparently, basically the entire block now is handicap parking. Ish. Now, this is not
Wait,
only
well,
not
how is that
clearly-
ish? How can
It's-
it be ish?
Well, almost the whole block is
Okay.
handicap parking. It is poor. Like, to say it's poorly marked is admitting that it's marked, which it really isn't. There's a pole behind a tree where if you're driving, it's blocked by a tree. And even if you stand on the road looking at it, the sign is facing the sidewalk. And it's
Okay.
facing not the direction I was walking. So, and there were also tons of cars on that street. So I was, like, typically handicap spots, there's maybe a couple more available than usual, but it was like still the only
Not when
spot
you're
on
going
the
to a
block.
hospital.
Yeah, I mean, sure, but I don't know. It was very stupid. It was very stupid. And I got on my appointment and I looked around and like the thing is, like, there's a parking meter. I used an app to park in this zone. I hit info on the zone. It doesn't say watch for handicap signs. It doesn't, that doesn't help, right? And then I went to the meter box to see how much the rate was before I opened the app, and the meter box doesn't say anything. When I took a picture of the parking zone, the handicap sign isn't near that sign with the parking zone. Like,
okay.
I got out, I looked around, I didn't see any signs. I looked up, I saw a parking zone, whatever, took a picture of it, started walking, it went past the meter. It's like pay, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, I'll do it on my phone. I'm walking, I do it on my app. I didn't do it on my app while I was walking. I did it in the app once I got to the doctor's office. Yeah, but there's like 2 yellow poles, and it's like, don't park in between these 2 poles that like really are like, they're like bent and you can't see the sign from the road. So anyway, then
were you in between the yellow poles?
I was, apparently.
Oh
yeah.
no.
Yeah. So it was,
Dude.
it was fun. It was fun. I would contest it, but who knows? But man, if you are listening and you think the DMV is bad, go to get your car from Lower Wacker. There were 7 people working, and there was 1 person in front of me, and I was there for 35 minutes.
That makes sense. Our good friend Max Armstrong wants to know if the Lincoln Park Pirates towed your car, because that's a great old song by Steve Goodman, which is now stuck in Max's head.
I think it might have been. That's why when I got it, they were like, "Oh, you're here for your car." That's right.
So what does it cost? I was only there once, and it wasn't my car. It was a friend of mine's car that got towed. And this was, I think I was in my 20s, so it's been a long time. What does it cost to get a car out of Hock?
I think it was $150.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And of course, since I had paid the Chicago parking fees, which are a total scam, that was another like 30, right? For like an hour and a half of parking. So
no.
That was close to 200. It's fine. Can you contest that? It doesn't matter.
Yes, you can contest a ticket.
I might do that. I don't know. It's just.
Well, wait, did you get a ticket too?
There was a ticket put on the dashboard that
so you did get one.
I mean, I don't know. I don't think I have to pay anything on that.
Oh, yeah, you do.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Wait, let me get it. Hold on.
Yeah, you can't. They're not going to let tow your car and not give you a ticket where you have to pay more. It's probably going to be, because if you were parked in a handicap spot, I'm guessing it's going to be at least $150.
There's no way. You don't get your car towed and then pay $150 to get it and then pay a ticket. That's insane.
You broke the law. They towed your car, and now you're going to have to pay up. The city's not letting you skate. Are you insane? There's absolutely no way you're getting out of this. It's going to be you parked in a handicap zone. You parked between bent yellow poles. There's going to be something on there.
It says disabled parking.
Yeah, so you were in disabled parking. What's that cost you? $250 maybe.
This says $250.
$250, another $250.
I'm not going to pay $400 for this. This is bullshit.
No, you really have to go. No, now you have to contest it. You have all the pictures. You're going to have to go to court. You're going to have to fight the man.
Well, I don't have any pictures.
I thought you said you took pictures of the signs and stuff.
I took one picture of the sign that said where the parking zone was.
No, you got to go back. Now you got to go back. You need pictures of how it's facing this, not facing the street, how it's far away. You need a picture of the bay that doesn't say anything about handicap parking. You need all that evidence. Listen, I'm no attorney. but I play one on our podcast. So
what are they going to do if I don't pay this?
well, they'll hunt you down and boot your car if you ever take it back into the city.
Oh, well,
Well, it'll be on your record.
that's
They
fine.
may issue a warrant for your arrest for outstanding parking ticket.
One.
Then if you ever get stopped, well, it's a big one. I don't know if you know this. You parked in a disabled, can't do that. You can, all other kinds of traffic things you can get away with. They're going to crack down on you parking in a handicap spot or disabled parking. $250 plus $150 for the tow, and God only knows what they did in your car while they had it down in lower whacker.
All right. Well,
Have you ever seen that movie, The Other Guys, with Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg? It's hilarious, but watch it for a scene where Will Ferrell's Prius gets stolen, then found, and the cops are describing what the homeless guys did in his car.
What if I don't? What if I sell my car?
Yeah. What if you sell your car?
That was it.
Well, then that's fine. Then it'll be registered to somebody else.
They won't know,
so they
right?
can drive it. Well, no, they can drive it wherever they want, but it'll still be on. They gave a ticket to a car that you owned, so they know you had the car. They know it's your car. They know where you live. They can run the plates. I've seen enough procedurals. This is right out of Law and Order. This is Cop Show 101. They got your plates. They got your name.
Not paid within 25 days, a late payment penalty that may be equal in amount to the fine will be due.
Nice. That's $500. You should try to run it up as high as you can.
Expenses incurred by that. Okay. All right. This is...
Yeah, and Max says that when they hook your car, how do they treat it? I'm sure they kid gloves. I'm sure the Subaru was treated like it was their own vehicle.
Oh my God. How hard is it to contest it? How do people ever win?
Yeah, you can win if you have evidence. Make a PowerPoint. Create Google Slides. Go in there.
There we go.
Your Honor, look at this. Because it should say on your ticket that you can contest it and go to court.
The most frequently contested parking tickets were issued for violations like expired meters, no parking permits, no parking in no parking zones. People won most often 71% of the time fighting expired meter tickets.
Yeah.
They lost with red light and speed violations.
Yeah, I've never won a speed ticket contesting it, but I have. I'm trying to think. There was something that I battled. I think it was a red light camera thing or a speed cam, one of those speed camera deals.
Wait a second. I have 7 days from the date of issuance to contest the ticket.
Right.
It's been more than 7 days.
Then you are a screwed. Should have read that ticket, Cody.
Why would you have to pay a ticket on top of getting towed? That makes no sense.
Because you broke a law and part of your punishment was they towed your car.
But
that doesn't mean that's the only punishment.
I showed it to the guy, and the guy I was like, am I all set? And he's like, yeah. So I just kept it.
You trusted a guy who lives like a mole man taking stolen cars off the street? You trusted him to give you legal advice? And you're mocking my legal advice?
This is such a scam.
Of course it is.
I literally didn't even do anything wrong that was easy to understand. That I was like, I
didn't do anything wrong that was easy to understand. I did something wrong that was very complicated.
This is extremely stupid.
It was very hard to do what I did.
Scam. How do we vote out the city of Chicago government?
How do we vote out laws?
The entire government.
Well, you don't have a say in Chicago government anymore. That's my job. Wow.
This is horrific.
And now you can't contest it.
Well, I'll try.
You can try. You could hire a lawyer, but that's going to cost you more than
there's a parking meter fairy dude heard on Overnight or somewhere that contacted him. Maybe I'll have some details. I don't know. I might have to get Karen involved. I might give her a call.
Wow.
Yeah. I will call a high power attorney.
Really?
On principle, I'm not paying this. I'm just letting you know. Whether on principle or legally, I'm absolutely not paying this because it's not right. It's unjust. I have been violated. There were plenty of parking spots,
Well,
both
we're-
when I
we're,
parked and when I got to my empty spot. It was not even not clearly marked, but not clearly marked and formerly not even a handicap parking zone. Like for years, right? Like I've been to this place many times. I've driven many times. You don't just like suddenly make a thing into a new zone and then not clearly mark it. And then like hide a sign behind a tree or only have it accessible it does none of it made sense.
I think in front of the judge, you throw this little child hissy fit and then starting to hold your breath. Stamp your feet, hold your breath.
All right.
They could they change parking stuff all the time.
That's dumb.
Well, it may in fact be dumb, but that doesn't ignorance of the law is no excuse.
They cannot hold my tax refund for not paying a ticket.
Listen, Mike is just Mike's churning up trouble here.
If they try, I'm going to stop paying Illinois taxes. Then what?
I don't know.
It was all going to Madigan before anyway. It doesn't matter.
How do you like prison food? Wow, that sucks. And it just the more you talk about it, the worse it's getting.
I'm in an extremely bad mood now. So
I don't blame you. That's Oh, I didn't hear this story before. I'm glad I didn't. It's coming at me fresh.
I mean, I'm glad that now I know that I apparently, I don't know. I'm glad I know that I should deal with it because I should. I'm not glad about any of the details. This is like totally.
No. Well,
standing on a crosswalk is $60. Come on. So many people need to get that ticket. Why don't they get that ticket?
Wait, standing in a crosswalk is $60?
Park or standing in a crosswalk?
Oh, standing. I think that means the car standing.
The car, yeah. Wouldn't it be nice if they ever enforced that? How many times have I, as a pedestrian, how many years? 13 years I lived in the city. 14 to 15 years. Why would I not read the ticket, Cindy? Because none of it is legible. None of this ticket is legible, Cindy. I tried. I looked at it. I saw a bunch of scribbles. There's nothing clear about this.
Is there a check in the box that says disabled parking?
There's a tiny pencil dot. I had to look for it. It's not like I looked at the top half. It just has my car info and his signature. That's all it has. And then under that, it looked like there was nothing until I looked very closely at it. But I did look at it and I was like, okay, none of this means anything. It's like, I don't know.
Oh, it all means something.
There are no F-bombs coming yet. All right, I'm going to click.
You never know, Adam. It's early.
Click on this link that
Mike. Click on the link that Mike sent. See what it is.
Oh my God.
Mike's trying to get everybody all worked up.
State to stop taking overdue fines out of income tax refunds for lower income taxpayers due to pandemic. Well, I don't know that any of that applies to me. Family of four must earn no more than a lot less than I earn. So
you're a rich white guy. They're coming after you. They want to take your car. You're driving a safe family, a sensible station wagon. They knew you were from the suburbs and they just zoned in on you.
Is it a carbonless copy? There's one way of getting out there, making it so you cannot read it.
That's a carbonless ticket. That's just a parking ticket. So it doesn't come from a book. They just.
Yeah, it's one of these deals, one of the orange deals.
Yeah, the orange deals. Yeah.
I would like to bring it and be like, I don't know what this means. Okay. Yeah, because you literally can't see it. So
had I known that
thanks,
that mentioning lower whacker was going to turn into this, but I'm glad it did. It's horrifying that you're an intelligent man and you thought that you were getting towed, but you still weren't going to get a ticket.
No one,
So what did you have to pay in cash?
Yep. No, there were signs everywhere.
Cards down there?
Signs everywhere said you got to pay in cash, but I paid with a card. Now, I don't know if they take credit cards. I only had my debit card with me. So I paid with that, thankfully, because my wife had needed to borrow either my credit card. Did not. And I didn't think of that, right? I just got to the, on the bright side, I walked.
Cindy, don't apologize. He should have read the ticket.
I did read the ticket. Oh my gosh. It's so bad. It's so bad.
So maybe they take a debit card because the money comes right out. They know the money's there. It's not like a credit card where you can stop payment.
That's what I'm saying.
A debit card, they know they got the money.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe, maybe I just send it back. Right? This is an envelope, right? Like maybe I just literally
send it back with a check for $250 in it and everything will be fine.
No, send it back with nothing because there's no violation code on here. I put a sticky note. I say, I don't know what you want from me. How about I do that?
Yeah, do that. That would be. I'd love to hear what happens if you do that. I don't know what you want from me. This seems like a you problem, not a me problem. And send it back and see what they say. There has to be something written on there. I'm not saying that they wrote it big or legible, but I'm betting it's written on there. If you look close.
Not a whole lot.
Oh, dude, that's horrible.
No one should have to what is
How did you think your car had been stolen? How do you know that it's towed and not stolen? My first thought would have been somebody took it.
I didn't know. I walked up and down the block a couple of times, and I'm like, okay, it's gone, clearly. And then after the third time I walked, I saw the handicap sign for the first time. That's how poorly displayed it is. You can't see it. It's not I cannot emphasize enough. How you
then that's what you need. I don't think you can contest it anymore. But that would be what you would need to contest it. Go and take pictures of that from where you were parked and all those signs. But again, it's been more than 7 days. So I don't think they're going to let you do it.
I mean, that was sort of what a random website said. That could have been outdated. That was just a random article. I don't know.
Oh, it doesn't say on the ticket. It should say on the ticket exactly what you can do.
This is actually from 2019. What
it should say your options right on the ticket.
It doesn't tell you can even contest it. Look, that was the first thing I did. It just says online you can submit hearing request via city's website and follow the instructions. It doesn't give you a time frame. All right. Well,
yeah.
Of course, I'm going to go now, and it's going to say you have to have done it in 7 days.
No, you're going to go. You're going to be all set. You're going to submit a request. Then you're going to go downtown. You're going to take a bunch of pictures of that parking spot. You're going to go in with so much evidence, the judge is just going to go, forget it. Just go. Here's your 150 back.
Yeah.
Here's everything. Just take off. We don't.
I didn't even care honestly if they take the 150. I literally at this point, but I'm not paying an extra 250 on top of it.
I think you are.
In what are we in Russia? Is this Russia? Are we Russian? Is that how we run our cities? Is Vladimir Putin running the city of Chicago parking department? Is that the name of Lori Vladimir Putin Lightfoot? How does Lori Lightfoot being the first female minority Russian LGBT mayor of Chicago? I didn't know
she feels $500 richer because you went downtown and parked in the wrong spot.
Yeah, all right.
Cody, we are a society of laws.
Oh, yeah?
I know in your generation we are a society. You may not believe this, but we are a society of laws. Now, most people choose not to obey those laws, but I am a law and order candidate. I believe if you break the law, you should be punished. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't want to see it happen to you, but you broke the law. You decided to disregard poorly placed and ill-lettered signs that would have warned you off parking your car there. And so you did it. And now you have to, you either have to fight the power or you have to bend over. So what are you going to do? You going to bend over and take it? Or are you going to stand up, man up, and go down, take some pictures and fight this?
I'm going to go Ukraine on this judgment right here.
Nice.
Judge link was just sent by Marta about how, now this is from a year ago also, but court ruling allows Chicago to double amount for parking tickets and fines. But a lawyer was suing Chicago on it, arguing that the cost of the ticket could soon double, and that's not good. Illinois law is supposed to protect motorists from excessive fines or tickets for non-moving violations. Yeah, I would say $400 is pretty darn excessive.
Well, the fine on the ticket's only $250. The
plus
towing fee, the towing fee is $150. That's
plus
different. They're going to look at it different.
I was paying for parking the whole time, so that's another, however much. I mean,
and what's hilarious? Somebody took that spot where your car was.
Oh yeah.
When you came out, was there a car with a handicap sticker in your old spot?
No, there was a car with its hazards on in my old spot, and the driver sitting in the driver's seat. The car behind it, I did see a handicap sticker. No other car on the block did I see a handicap sticker. It's tremendous. tremendous.
You got to fight this. We all want you to go to court.
All right.
And we want you to dog day after. You're out of order, and you're out of all the that Al Pacino movie and Justice for All, and you're out of order.
And
then throw your files up in the air like you just don't care. Do it. Fight the power. You got to fight the power.
Here we go.
Fight the power that be.
Parking. Finance. Contested ticket. Boom. I'm on their website. Submit a hearing request online.
Do it.
Finance. Get started online. Let's put in a ticket number. What's the over-under on whether it's expired?
No,
whether I'm allowed to do this.
Doesn't say anything in there like you have to do this between at a certain time. You're all right? It doesn't have that on there?
Let's do it. Here we go.
This is very exciting. Cody, ready to fight the man.
The only thing, check to contest. All right, we're going to try this.
Yeah, do it. Contest it.
The only thing, this is riveting. This is totally riveting. Ticket amount, $800. I'm going to put $2,500.
Why would you do that?
Because it feels like $2,500. Method of contest, correspondence or in person?
Oh, do you want to go to court or do you just want to send all the information? Now, if you're going to do it by correspondence, you got to go take pictures. You got to have pictures.
Oh, wait. The virtual hearing contest method is not provided until registered owner data is received from the Secretary of State. Because I've got correspondence or in person.
Okay.
But it doesn't give me virtual hearing.
Okay.
All right. What do we think?
Maybe your stuff's not in there yet. Could be a backlog.
Contested ticket, Chicago in person or correspondence. Here we go. Google. If you want to challenge, he believes it's best to state your case in person at a hearing. Rather by mail, it's more informal and you're able to have a discussion with the hearing officer. All right. This is what CBS News says. Oh,
the hearing officer will call you after you send all your stuff in by mail?
I don't know.
Is that what you just said? Is that what you just read to me?
If you want to challenge, bring evidence. CBS Chicago says, if you want to challenge a parking ticket, this person believes it's best to state your case in person at a hearing rather than by mail. It's more informal and you're able to have a discussion with the hearing officer. Bring evidence like pictures, receipts, and other documents to prove your case. Common problems for drivers are parking signs that are so badly faded, it's unclear when parking is allowed on certain streets. What kind of sign is that has no lettering? I would take a photograph and say, Your Honor, where's the sign? The sign says nothing. It's blank.
There you go. That's the thing. Request it in person, go back down there and take so many pictures that they can't believe that your last name isn't Kodak.
Mm-hmm.
And then go in with a stack, go with a giant manila folder full of photos and documents. Bring your son, make him cry, like stick him with a pin so he's crying the whole time.
I still want the virtual hearing request, but it says that's not provided until registered owner data is received from the Secretary of State. So
well, maybe if you request an in-person hearing, they send everything down and then they give you the option of doing a virtual hearing.
No, because when I said continue, it was like, no, you gotta I agree that it's basically you check this box. I'll read it to you. I'll read what it said. This is extremely riveting.
Screen share it.
If I go to I'm not doing that. So this says, I certify I am the owner or lessee of the cited vehicle and I'm authorized to request a hearing. And then it says,
yes,
in-person hearing request. I understand that this is a formal request to contest the violation through an in-person hearing before an administrative law judge pursuant to some code.
Blah, blah, blah.
I understand I'll be notified of a hearing date and must be prepared to present any supporting evidence and arguing at the in-person hearing. I understand I'll receive a written decision from the administrative law judge at the end of the hearing. Then below that, it's like virtual hearing request. I understand that this is a formal request to contest the violation through a virtual hearing before an administrative law judge. So there's a phone number I can call. I will call the City of Chicago's ticket helpline, which exists specifically to extort people. And I will call them tomorrow and ask how I can get a virtual hearing.
All right. But then you got to have your stuff ready. Got to have the pictures ready.
The only silver lining to any of this is that at least I got free babysitting last week, and I didn't have to pay
That's
for
true.
that.
You did get free babysitting. It was I so Cody had asked, we had offered, my lovely wife and myself had offered to watch Cody and his lovely bride's child many times because the child is good natured. If the child was a demon spawn, I would not have offered to babysit ever. So last week was, if there had been a week to not ask us to do something, it would have been last week, just because last week was so insane here. But we'll get to that. But Cody asked me on Monday, hey, be careful what you wish for. Any chance you can watch the baby on Friday overnight? And it was the overnight part that made us a little nervous at first. We're like, oh man, overnight. Because now your son has been to our house before and I've met him many times. And like I said, very good natured kid. Seems easy to be around. But you never know with an overnight. And quite frankly, it's been 24 years since I've changed a diaper. I enjoy seeing toddlers and having them around, but having to worry if they're, if they live or not has not been a thing for a long time. But then we Debbie and I talked about it and we were like, yeah, okay. Plus, it seemed really weird to me because you and your wife were going out, but you didn't seem like every time I asked about the time, you didn't seem to be in any hurry to really go. It wasn't like we have a dinner and we have this. And so we drop him off, because I said, oh, well, I get home. I had an appointment after school. I said, I'll get home about, 5. So you can bring them anytime. Oh yeah, maybe we'll bring them, 6:30. So we don't, and I'm like, where are they going that they don't really need to do they even need to drop the baby off? Are they just tired and want a night away? So they're going to drop them at the house and then go home. But, so Friday comes and Debbie's smart because we don't have a lot of baby stuff anymore. We have some books, but and your son likes to hear stories, but he's also a kid. He wants to do some stuff. And I was having trouble nailing down anything from you. I asked a million times what he eats. I asked what we needed, and you were very vague. Again, to the point where I thought for a while you may be abandoning him and I was going to have to take him to a firehouse.
I said he would eat anything. That's vague.
Yeah, but see, that's too vague. He'll eat anything. Really? I could take him to get a Polish with extra grilled onions? I don't think toddlers would eat that.
He will eat literally anything. But I probably should have given you some stuff that I know he likes, just in case he decided that the day
to be a little finicky.
Yeah. Of course, the one day I leave him with, he's finicky. But
because the one time we were with him, he ate buffalo chicken dip like it contained the cure to all the world's illnesses. The next time we had buffalo chicken dip, he didn't want anything to do with it.
Yeah.
So he's an enigma, this kid. You never know. You never know with him what's going on.
Yeah.
So you guys brought him over. He was dressed to the nines, which I thought was very nice. But I'm like, wow, this seems a little fancy. He looked very nice. And when he came in, he was, a very normal 1.5-year-old. It took him a minute. Then he was like, oh yeah, I've been here before. Then he saw the dogs and he was like, woof, woof. And he went right over and he was fine. And you guys had brought dinner, which was very nice. And so everything. And then, again, I was like, where are they going that they don't have to leave? This seems, if you had just wanted to come for dinner, that would have been fine. But it didn't seem like you had anywhere to go.
Mm.
But then your wife was like, well, I'm going to go put his pajamas on. And he came down and he was fascinated with the dogs. And I started to say about Debbie, she had said, we should get something for the house, that way when he's coming over. So we got this big thing of Duplo blocks. And I found these textured balls that one looks like a jack and they had grooves. So it was easy to hold and throw. So then you guys you were ready finally to go. I don't know where you were going. Clubbing, I heard. Mm-hmm. And I want to get into how that goes. But you made the mistake every new parent makes, and it's okay. This is not a criticism because we made it too. where you linger a little too long with the goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
And then the child realizes that he's being abandoned. And that's when because you were kind of out the door and he started to cry a little. And then your wife came back and gave him a big hug. And I'm thinking, just go. But,
Yeah, no.
but again, every parent does that. That's not you. Yeah, the prolonged goodbye is bad. You got to just, we were trying to distract him and we wanted you guys to just slip away. But I will say this, you guys left. He cried for maybe 17 seconds because Debbie picked him up. I went and got this bag of balls and he was like, ball. And that was it. He didn't even know he had parents. A couple times he did say mama and dada, but we said they left. They're gone. I don't know when they're coming back. So he was, and like he had looked tired while you guys were there. Once he got his jammies on, he was revved up. He got a second wind for a little bit. And he would pet the dog. Then he'd get the ball and he'd throw it. And our one dog, Lawson, who got along with your son great, except Lawson is the most jealous dog. And he treated your son the same way he treats when Walter comes over and gets petted or when Gidget, the other dog, comes over. He tries to get between them. And so when we were playing with the ball with your son, Lawson would run over. Once your son would throw the ball, Lawson would run and get it and then bring it back. And so we kept telling you, say no, Lawson, no. And so Lawson would get the ball. Your son would go, no. And then, but he wouldn't like go try to get the ball from him. He just, no. And then he'd get another ball and he'd throw it. And then we'd switch out. And he was playing. And then he started to look tired. So we did, you guys always say, give him some milk before bed. So he knows that. It's very Pavlovian. It was fantastic because Debbie's like, all right, we're going to read him a story. I was like, great. So he sits on my lap in the big chair and Debbie comes out with the milk and he's like, and we only put a tiny bit of brandy in it, just a little, just enough not enough to knock him out, just enough to make him sluggish.
Sure.
And he starts drinking the milk and I pick one of the books you guys brought and I made the mistake of picking a book that had every story had some sort of vehicle in it.
And no.
Your son loves vehicles because they're either all a bus or a car. Everything's a bus. And I'm reading this story and I could feel him. You know when a kid is just about to go to sleep. His whole body's relaxed. And I turned the page, bus? And I was like, so finally I go, I got to have a book without a bus. We got to read something. I can't read any more books with the bus. So I had never heard of this Dr. Seuss book, The Sleep Book.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Well, I'm a good reader when I'm trying to convey. I'm an actor. So I was able to, and we brought the lights down and he's drinking his milk and Lawson was asleep on the floor. And every once in a while your son would go, woof. And I go, he's asleep too. And we'd read the book and I'm putting you to sleep. See, I'm that calm. That's what a calming influence I am. And Debbie carried him up and laid him down. Didn't make a sound. The kid slept over 12 hours. And I was like, but here's the thing. When you don't have, when you're an empty nester and you haven't had little kids in the house for a long time, we immediately went back to being parents and having a newborn in the house because both of us were up like during the night. Anytime we got up to go to the bathroom, we would go in and look just to make sure he was still breathing. Then we go back to sleep. And we like all night we were up kind of checking. And he sleeps in like a yoga position, almost like the downward dog. I'm like, how is this comfortable? And he's kneeling down, but he's almost like, like he's praying to Mecca.
The child's pose.
Is that like what it is? The child's pose?
Like a little frog. Oh yeah. No, he's like exactly child's pose. And you lay him down and he rolls right over and just gets into it.
Yes. And I kept looking and one time his head was at one end and one time his head was at another end and we'd cover him up and we'd come back in and he was just there in his pajamas. And I was like, oh my gosh. So, and you had said, well, he usually gets up at 7. So at 7:15, I hear Debbie get out of bed and I'm like, oh, it must be him. So I get out of bed. Well, it was Gidget howling like an idiot because she wanted to go outside. I look in. Well, 6 o'clock, I get up to go to the bathroom because I'm an old man. And I see him sitting in his crib, just sitting up, not making a sound. And I'm like, is he summoning the devil? What's happening? And I walk back into the bedroom, and Debbie just gives me the shh sign, like, don't make a sound. I'm like, all right. So then that's 6 o'clock. Get up at 7:15. I look in. Now he's sound asleep again. Back in his little child pose position. Then I go downstairs, and Debbie's down there, and we're like, everybody's being quiet, and we're yelling at Gidget to not make sound. Don't wake the baby. Don't wake the baby. And he keeps sleeping. And I'm like, they said he was going to get up around 7. He never sleeps. And now we would keep going upstairs and looking, going, he's still breathing. Or we'd hear him, we had the TV real low, the news, and we'd hear him, and we're like, all right, we heard him turn over. Everything must be okay. And finally, at like 9:15 or 9:45, I go upstairs, and he's laying on his back with his eyes wide open, just laying there. And he sees us and immediately starts talking. He's pointing at the ceiling fan. He's pointing at a giraffe. Is that a horse? Horse? I go, giraffe. Horse? Giraffe. Horse? Yeah, it's a horse. And then I swear he hadn't been up 30 seconds, and he's like, woof, woof. And he's looking over the side of the crib, looking for the dogs. I'm like, oh, they're downstairs. The woof, woof's downstairs. Debbie went, you want to get out? No. So he stood there because he had a lot to talk about. Then we played a game with his teddy bear where Nunu is his teddy bear, and Nunu would fall out of the crib. And I'd go, oh, no, what happened to Nunu? And I'd pick him up, and he'd laugh. I go, Nunu fell out. And then, oh, what do you know? Nunu would fall out again. I go, oh, no, what happened to Nunu? He fell out. And so
that's where he learned that, because when he got back over the last week, I put him to bed the next night, and I put him in, and he stands up and throws Nunu on the ground and goes, oh, no. And I'm like, yeah, here you go, bud. Oh, you dropped Nunu. Oh, no. And I give it to him, and he just goes, who throws him out of the crib? Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Now I know. That's where he learned it.
Well, he was throwing it. He learned the oh, no from me, but he learned to throw it on his own.
Okay.
And then finally he was done with his conversations in the game of Nunu. And Debbie changed him, and the diaper must have weighed 17 and a half pounds of urine. I don't know what kind of diapers you buy, but man, they are absorbent. They are, and they hold an industrial strength amount of urine. Then he came down and made breakfast. Kid had a scrambled egg and a sausage patty and a little toast, and he loved it. He ate it. He was drinking his Wawa, and then we were playing, and again, he had played, and he was playing with the dogs and everything. And then I know you guys don't let him watch TV, but he was starting to get that where he was kind of chilling, like he was going to fall asleep again. So we put on a Jungle Book, the animated classic, the Disney classic. And I'm like, well, I know they don't let him watch TV, but it's Jungle Book, and he'll relax. And he did. He sat on Debbie's lap, and he only got to watch maybe 20 minutes of Jungle Book before your wife got here.
Yeah.
But he was hypnotized. And then we were making the snake sound when the cobra came. He would do that. He'd laugh. So yeah, it was great. He can come anytime. We had a good time with him.
Careful, I'm gonna bring him back.
That's fine. He was
happen,
no,
right?
He was fun. And I had asked Molly if she wanted to come and help, because I didn't know if Debbie and I were, too broken down to do it. But she didn't want to, because she had something to do. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But then she called in the middle. How's it going? It's going fine. The child is fine. We haven't killed the child.
She's a young adult. Presumably, most of her friends don't have children of their own yet. So
no, none of them do.
Did she do a lot of babysitting in high school? Does she have any kind of relationship with babies?
She did some babysitting in high school. Then one summer she babysat for a little bit for our nieces. But yeah, so it was great, and we needed that. It was actually a nice break from all the craziness. But you went clubbing that night? Is that what I was led to believe? You went
to
a club and did some Molly?
The only thing I did not do Molly. The only thing I was going to say, no.
Are you mad that we let? I had a feeling your wife might be upset that he watched a little bit of the Jungle Book.
No,
But
no,
then she said that she had sung him those songs when he was a baby,
no.
even a younger baby than he is.
I actually have a really cute video of her singing Bare Necessities while playing ukulele when he was like 3 months old. And he's
Okay.
just sitting there on the couch and he's just like staring. And then like I point the camera over to him and she starts singing and he just like has this big smile. It's like so cute. But anyway, no, the only thing I felt bad about is that like it sounds like you didn't really get to see him very much. I mean,
we had a good time with him after you guys left for about. He went to bed about. It was 8:17, so 17 minutes after you said his normal bedtime.
Oh yeah.
And then, but he was, I could tell he was kind of getting a little bit of a cold in the morning. He was a little snotty, a little stuffy, and we didn't have one of those turkey baster jobs that you use with an infant to suck the snot out of their head. I used to love that when Molly was a baby. You put it up there, and it would just fill up with the snot because they can't blow their nose. It's gross.
Yeah, we have one. He hates it. He hates it.
Oh, they all hate it. Sure they do, because things are getting sucked out of their heads.
Yeah. No, I don't even. But no, you're right, because he was only. I mean, we left. He was probably awake for an hour, and then he slept in the next day. Which, like I told you, I'm like, you could set your clock by him. He's
you did.
7:15 and 7:30. So of course you're probably thinking like it's like 8:30 rolls around. You're like, oh my god. So, but yeah,
it was like quarter to 9 when he got up.
That's not. Yeah, so he was there for like an hour and a half before my wife shows up. So I mean, it's like, well, if they wanted to play with the kid. It didn't get a lot of that.
No, we did. He had a good time, and he loves the dogs, and the dogs get along well with him. Even Gidget, who is antisocial, when she would come into the room, she'd stand there and let him come up and pet her, and then she doesn't hang around much anyway, so she'd come in, he'd pet her. She'd look at him for a few minutes, then she'd go on her way. And Lawson just lays there and lets him come over. And he's really good with dogs. I mean, really, really good with knowing to be gentle and putting his hand. And he's really good. And I think they sense that too. And our dogs are chill anyway.
Yeah.
So
your dogs are so chill, so chill. Yeah.
Now I don't know if Walter was here, it might be a different story. Molly claims Walter's good with kids. I haven't seen it.
He's only 1.5, so like my son. I mean, so it's remarkable that he loves animals though. But
and he does a great job.
But yeah, well, I might take you up.
So what's with the clubbing? What'd you do?
All right, so about that, I'll talk to you after the show. It might be another babysitting opportunity in your near future.
Oh boy.
Because we don't really have any other friends.
Who you trust with the life of your child?
Yeah, definitely. No, we did a trial run with one of my.
What about Ice Bag John?
That's exactly who we did a trial run with, and I don't know that he'll be doing a lot more babysitting in the future. It's fine. But so the reason that we brought him was because we didn't really have a lot of plans for the weekend, but then like Monday or Tuesday we got a text from a friend of ours. There's a couple. A friend of mine that I actually know through Ice Bag John. I've known him since I moved to Chicago. So I've known him like 15 years now. Wow, it's a long time. So I've known like 15 years, and he started seeing this broad during the pandemic. And
wow, that seems harsh.
Yeah, is it?
Seeing this broad?
It's old fashioned.
Okay.
Is Sinatra harsh, or is he charming and old fashioned?
Well, no, I don't think anybody thinks that stuff's charming anymore. But that's all right. Listen,
right,
you're a guy who doesn't read your parking tickets. Why would we expect anything less?
Okay, there we go. Okay, so anyway, we got a text. In January, they decided to elope.
Oh wow!
And that actually couldn't get a courthouse. I mean, yeah, they told their families, and they're gonna apparently do like a real wedding in like a year or two. Okay. They're just like, oh, it just felt like it. So they did a courthouse deal. So just got married. Anyway, it's her 30th birthday was this weekend.
Yes.
So turning 30, like that's still pretty young and hip. And
sure,
that's still the age where you can go out to nightclubs in River North and party.
Really? There are nightclubs in River North. Who knew anymore?
Yeah, I know, right? And buy like a bottle of tequila for you and your friends and a couple bottles of champagne and just hang out and drink. So, okay. So, yeah, I went clubbing in River North.
Wow.
At my age.
That's kind of weird. Now, back when I was young, there were a lot of clubs in River North. That was like the beginning of River North. So now I don't even where are the clubs? What streets?
This was on LaSalle and like a couple blocks south of Huron, like around the corner from Rock and Roll McDonald's, basically.
Okay.
The name of the place is Disco.
Really?
It's called Disco, even though they weren't playing disco music.
Okay.
It was fine. I mean, it was fun to see my friends, but like it was one of those places you walk in and you're like, okay, this is everything I don't miss about my 20s. You have to scream to talk to anybody.
Sure.
There's nowhere to move. Everyone's just bumping into each other.
Oh my God.
To get to the bar was a battle. Like it was just like a bloodbath to even get to the bar. And then once you do, you pay like $12 for like a vodka Red Bull. So, there's a lot of really attractive people.
Sure.
That was cool. It's fun to see young, hip, attractive people. You're like, oh,
Were there
young.
ugly people there?
Were there ugly people there?
Yeah, were there ugly people?
Yeah, there's some ugly people there too.
Okay, that's good. You need a mix. You need to throw a couple ugly people in for comparison's sake.
Yeah, a good male-female split until like 10:30 or 11, and then like 80% dudes.
Really?
Very weird. Yeah.
Was it a LGBTQ bar?
No, it was, as far as I know, just a straight up regular club bar. I don't know, whatever. So anyway,
bars always had predominant. A lot of bars have more guys because they're always looking for the ladies.
Yeah, this was a little out of control though. Like it was
Sausage Fest.
I was just like, this is Sausage Fest. This place is dead. This place is dead anyway. So we
wow, that's what I want to hear, Cody. This place is dead. Let's go somewhere else.
Swingers. This place is dead anyway. So yeah, we bailed up. But we got home pretty late, and I probably got home like 12:30 or 1, I would say.
Well, that's not bad.
Nah, it was not too bad. And then crashed.
We were all asleep here.
Yeah,
us, the baby, the dogs, everybody was asleep.
Well, I was asleep when my wife got the kid because she actually taught a yoga class the next morning virtually at like 8 a.m. And then afterwards, I guess she just like, Cody probably needs some sleep, and she just like left. So I woke up.
Yeah, I was surprised not to see you come and collect your son.
I was surprised to wake up and not have anyone home. I was like, where's my wife?
Did you just walk around naked, drinking a cup of coffee? Going, I am the king of the world.
That's weird. I don't do that.
All right. I do.
I don't know. The Ric Flair helicopter spin from the.
Yeah, just woo.
Woo. No.
Woo.
No. So yeah,
Put
but
on
we
a
went.
boa, strut around.
The clubbing was fine, but that was the start of a big weekend because then another friend had her 32nd birthday at Medieval Times.
I know people go there. I know people enjoy it. I have zero desire to ever go to Medieval Times.
Wait, have you ever been?
No.
Oh, Brian.
No. Why would I go? No. I don't want to go see people joust and eat chicken with my fingers. And
you do.
No, I don't.
Dragon.
What about dragon?
You eat dragon with your fingers.
Oh, it's not chicken. It's dragon.
Roast dragon.
Roast dragon. Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fine. Because I'm 7. That's great. Got to see the White Knight and the Black Knight and the Queen of Gromittville or whatever's going on there.
Mm-hmm. Queen of Love. Dude, look, there were people there celebrating their 20th and 30th anniversary. There's somebody doing their 40th birthday there. Oh yeah, no, it's hip. No, she.
Did you just say it's hip?
Yeah, it's hip.
Wow. I'm going to. All right, go ahead.
But no,
Well, you probably know. You're the guy who's out clubbing all night at disco.
I am. She got a party bus in Avondale and had it drive 25 of her friends out to Medieval Times.
Oh my God.
So she does some big birthdays. So we just met her because we're like 15 minutes away. And we brought our son because like I wasn't going to get a babysitter for my son so we could go to Medieval Times.
No,
like,
you got to take a kid to Medieval Times, don't you?
It's his second time.
Really?
We brought him to another birthday there like 8 months ago.
Oh my goodness. All right.
Yeah. So we're increasing the likelihood that his first memory is of Medieval Times.
Oh God.
It's a little terrifying. So we brought him out to that, and then she went home, and I went downtown back with the party bus to party for a couple hours. Then I got a ride home. Because she and the baby were tired. They both went home and went to bed. I was like,
Well,
God,
yeah, that's
I-
because your wife had been out clubbing all night. That she taught a yoga class. That she had to schlep over here to pick up your son because you were sleeping, then
Yeah.
wandering around your house nude.
big day. I mean, big weekend though for my son between you and medieval times. I'm not sure which one is more larger than life.
I was going to say, I wonder which one he enjoyed more. Because let me tell you this, this might tip it in our favor. While we're playing in the living room Saturday morning, fire truck and ambulance pull up across the street. That's right. I didn't even have to order them. I just had to go poison the neighbor. So yeah, that turned out terrific. Truck, bus, car, bus. And then he'd see the cars just parked on the street. Car, you know it. It's a car. Horse, no, giraffe. Horse, yeah, horse. Okay. Yeah. So so I think, listen, we gave him real world experience.
Yeah.
Plus we made snake sounds with him. He played with woof woofs and balls. So, and it made him scrambled eggs. He loved it.
Did your daughter repeat the same word over and over? Was there a phase like that?
I was trying to remember. She had a thing when she was old enough to talk, when she was real little, and she would try on new clothes. She would always say, so stylish. So stylish. And so we always, when she'd put something on, even now, every once in a while, she goes, oh, look, I got this car. Oh, it's so stylish. But I don't remember her. I'll have to ask Debbie. I don't remember if she said, now my Debbie's nephew, so my nephew by marriage, I guess my nephew too. For a long time, every car was Nana's car. In Nana's car? In Nana's car? Nana's car? He's like 42. I still say, Nana's car? Every time I see him, because I'm a jerk. But I don't remember if Molly had one or two. She probably did.
Yeah.
I just don't remember. I just thought I thought it was so funny. Everything with four wheels is either a car or a bus, and every animal's a horse. I think he did identify a pig in one of the stories
Ooh,
too.
all right.
I can't be sure. I don't want to give you false hope that he's, like a genius. He's a very nice kid. He seems very intelligent, but I don't want to put extra pressure on him. That's not good.
I know the first word he's going to say when I get him out of his bed tomorrow is going to be, oh, bus. So,
bus?
He
loves ceiling fans. Your wife told us that too. And I was like, sure he does. Oh man, he loved it. Oh, he loved the ceiling fan. Fascinated.
Well, without consulting me first, my wife excitedly comes up to me near the end of my workday and says, hey, come look at the nursery. I'm like, okay, why? And I go in and we have one of those, 3-stage crib converts into bed without a rail kind of situations.
Yeah.
Yeah, she converted it into a bed like that he can get out of.
Oh no.
I didn't know this was in the cards for tonight. Apparently tonight on a Tuesday, in the middle of the week, we are test running my kid being able to get out of bed.
Now, you don't have that bed doesn't have sides on it, like rails?
It has a head rail. It has the 3 sides from the normal crib, but then instead of the 4th one, it's lowered and it has a rail about halfway across.
Okay.
About 8 inches high, so he won't roll out of it.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
But he can get out of it on the the foot of the bed. Yeah.
Wow. Surprise.
Yeah. We can't lock his door, and because it's a sliding door.
Right.
And,
well, also you don't want to lock a kid in his room.
Right. But I mean, it's a sliding door.
Sure.
So he can just do kind of whatever. And he can now open all the doors on the 2nd floor.
Do you have a gate at the top of those stairs?
We have a gate at the top of the stairs. He cannot get over the gate for sure. That is.
But can he wander into the bathroom and drown in the toilet?
He cannot wander into the bath. Well, I don't think he would. It'd be a weird thing to do.
You never think they're going to do it. That's the thing. You never think they're going to do the dumbest thing. But they're kids. So, of course, they always do the dumbest thing. They can't help it. They're kids. They don't know that it's the dumbest thing. They just think, oh, look, a pool. You saw what he did with the dog water. He liked to play patty cake with the dog water. Your toilet's just a big dog bowl.
He's not really into the toy. He's never he's not, I don't know. Well, whatever. I don't think that's physically possible for him to drown it. Like, you'd have to open the lid and then it doesn't make any sense. He's not going to do
listen, I know he's not. I'm just saying. Can he wander in? If he could, hey, listen, I'm the guy who was up all night checking on him, making sure he was still breathing.
True.
Irrationally thinking that he was going to, just stop breathing.
Tonight we'll close all the doors except for our bedroom door, and he always goes straight to our bedroom when he's looking for either of us. So okay. I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, Roger, sliding door. Ouch. There is room. I looked at the door frame to put a gate in front of the sliding door. It would still actually fit between the thing. So I could get a third gate. I already have a gate at the bottom and at the top. So we're just going to be like, gates are us. It's going to be great. Anyway, that's a fun update. I'll let you know how that goes next week.
Yeah, please do. That sounds, wow. It seems like odd timing to do, like you say, in the middle of the week. Well, holy cow. I would not sleep a wink.
Wow.
I kind of remember. I remember when Molly left. Had he been trying to leave the crib? Had this been a thing?
Once he successfully left the pack and play at my parents' house. That's the only time. He's never.
I was going to say he slept in that at our house, and it's almost time. He's almost done with that pack and play. Yeah. But then we used to get, and this is old school, when Molly, I think because we got Molly just at first a regular twin bed, but we bought those sides. You used to be able to buy those slides that it was, about, I don't know, like you say, 10 inches. Mm-hmm. And they had two prongs that you slid under the mattress, and then the kid couldn't just roll out of bed. They could get out of bed. Sounds like that's what he has too.
Yeah. I mean, it's 6 inches from the ground. If he rolls off and bumps his head, it's like, whatever.
Your Honor, I submitted to evidence. If he rolls off and hits his head, whatever. Got
a hard head. It's a carpet. I mean, come on. Who hasn't fallen out of their bed?
Yeah, really. So my parents push me out of my bed all the time. No, I think it'll be. I think he'll be fine.
Well, that's my adventure, but your adventure with him was a respite from your week.
Yeah, it was. Oh, Jesus. So this is why we weren't here last week, and we won't. I won't dwell on this because we do have to. I have a very important showbiz email to send after this.
Oh,
very important showbiz email. But all right. I've regaled you with many tales of my adventures with my mother. So she's been gallivanting all winter. She spent a month in Florida with my youngest brother and sister-in-law, and then at her sister's house. Then she came home, and she was home like 3 days, and she went to Minnesota for my niece's 18th birthday. So she came home, and I hadn't talked to her that week. And so I called and I said, hey, how about Debbie, Molly, and I come out last Sunday? We'll take you out to dinner. We'll hang out for a little bit. We can hear all the stories about your trips. Okay, that'd be great. So it's all set. Sunday morning, I text her and I say, we'll be there about 3:00. She texts back, oh, I was just going to call you. I'm not feeling good. I'm not going to be able to go. I've been feeling bad for a couple days. And I'm like, well, I just talked to you on Thursday. It's now Sunday. All right. So I call, and she sounds like death warmed over. She just sounds horrible. So no energy. She's coughing. And I'm like, what's going on? Well, I haven't been feeling good lately, and I've got pain and this and that. And I'm like, okay. She goes, I've been coughing, and it's just my chest hurts. Do you want to maybe? And you can't tell her what to do. Like, I can't. Every time I try to tell my mom what to do, she says I remind her of my grandfather, and so she immediately dismisses everything that I tell her. Everything. Doesn't matter. I could say, hey, you should probably put that fire out on the stove. Don't tell me what to do. Okay, fine. Let the house burn down. Whatever. So I say, well, I don't want to tell you what to do, because she says, well, I'm going to call my doctor tomorrow and see if they can get me in. I was like, well, maybe if they can't get you in, you might want to consider. And I have to talk in such circuitous terms. Maybe you might want to think about if you're in the mood to go to an urgent care, because they might be able to find something. Well, I wouldn't do that. Why was that? I go, oh, okay. Well, you have insurance. Well, okay. I said, all right, Ma, you know what? Why don't you call me and let me know? Because I'm off tomorrow. It's Casimir Pulaski Day. I was so excited to have a day off.
Mhm.
I get so I'm worse than the kids when I have a day off. I'm so excited. So I say, call me, let me know if you're either going to the doctor or you go to the urgent care or if you need anything. So the day goes by. I don't hear from her. It's 4:00. Now I'm about to go on. I have a Zoom meeting at 4:00. Literally, and I don't use this word incorrectly, I had already put the Zoom meeting address in my browser bar. I was just about to click to enter the Zoom meeting. My phone rings and I see it's my mom. And I'm like, oh, I'm just going to let it go. And I said, no, I'll answer it and tell her that I'll call her back in an hour because I have to go to a meeting. I answer the phone and she's like, Brian, I'm at the urgent care. They're taking me to the hospital. I'm like, what? She goes, I came in and it's a long walk and I was out of breath and they brought me back. And then the nurse gets on and she tells me, my mom walked in, she was out of breath. They took her right back, did an EKG. Her heart rhythm is all screwy. So they're putting her in the ambulance and taking her to the hospital. I'm like, okay. My mom goes, if you can't come, it's okay. I'll get somebody. I said, I'm leaving the house in a couple minutes. I'll be right. Well, don't, if you can't, if you're busy, don't come. I'll find somebody. I'll call your aunt. I said, Ma, I said, I'm coming. Well, and then on her third well, the nurse goes, I heard him say he's coming. Let's go. So long story short, I get there to the emergency room. The emergency room is always a nightmare. This emergency room, first of all, we were at Payless Hospital, which is a great hospital. Everybody there, I will say up front, very nice, very helpful, did a great job. But oh my God, the emergency room was packed, like stacked up. People were in the hallway on gurneys. There were people everywhere. And so finally, after about 5 hours, they've run some tests. They're going to bring my mom. They're going to admit her. So I got there at 5:15. At 10:15, we're going up to the room. And I say to the nurse who's going up to the room with us, I go, is it always this busy? He said, on Mondays it is. I'm like, Mondays? He goes, yeah, nobody wants to pretend they're sick on the weekend, so they all wait and they come on Monday. I'm like, oh, I guess that makes sense. So she's admitted, and I decided, which is something I think everybody should do. If you're in the hospital, you should have somebody there when the doctors come, because you're not in your right frame of mind. And it doesn't matter if you're 85, like my mom's going to be on St. Patrick's Day, or you're my age or you're your age, because the doctor will tell you something and you'll hear a word that triggers something and your mind goes everywhere else. So you need somebody there just to kind of be a detached person paying attention and taking notes. So I got there early Tuesday morning before the doctors, and the whole thing was she had atrial fibrillation. So, Cody, I learned a lot about this. Now, I'm not a doctor, but I will explain it like I am. Atrial fibrillation is the top two chambers of your heart. The electric pulses start messing up, so your heart rhythm is not regular. And they're telling her this, and I'm listening, and I'm getting the questions, and she's fixated on a stroke. She doesn't want to have a stroke. Who does, though, really? If you're given the choice, stroke, no stroke, I go no stroke.
Yeah.
But some of her neighbors have died recently of strokes. She's terrified about a stroke. They had run a huge test downstairs the night before in the emergency room where they checked for blood clots everywhere. No clots. It came back in the range where it was minimal risk of any blood clots. So the doctor's like, you're fine. Don't worry about it. But she kept worried about that. And I guess, okay, I get it. That's why somebody else is listening to the other things. So we're listening. And the cardiologist is explaining, all right, here's the thing. We may, if you want, there's this test where we kind of there's two different things. We could go down with a scope and we go halfway down so we see the back of your heart. And we just take a look. We make sure there's no blood clots in your heart. And if there's no blood clots in your heart, then we shock your heart. And it should throw your rhythm back regular. And I'm sitting there and and they're explaining there's so many people have AFib, and it's very common as you get old, but people, young, old, everybody has it. Some people never know they have it. Some people only find out they have it if they're in some sort of distress, like my mom was. She was coughing, and because her heart wasn't pumping correctly, there was a buildup of fluid in her lungs, but they got that before it turned into anything worse. Thank goodness. So they're all explaining it to her, and she's asking questions, and I'm listening, and I'm asking my questions. And then she goes, well, what do you think about this shock thing? And I'm like, Ma, you got to make that decision. Because, of course, they lay out, which they have to, everything that could go wrong. Worst case scenario. It's they lay it out. And now to an 85-year-old woman who's already panicked that she's going to have a stroke and she's never had heart issues ever, this is terrifying. And they make it seem like, listen, we're going to plug you in. We don't know. You could blow a fuse. Things could get crazy. Might not work. Could do this. Could do that. And she's like, but if there's a clot, they go, well, we look. There's no clots. But yeah, technically, if there was a clot in there and we shocked it, it could shoot the clot somewhere else. It's like, oh my God. So I'm not going to make this decision. And he's like, we could do it, or, we could just try the medication and see if we can get it going. She's like, no, she decides she'll do the shock treatment. So they take her down. I'm sitting there. They come back. She came through it fine. Everything's good. She'll be right up. The cardiologist goes, well, here's the deal. We shocked it the first time, and it only stayed in rhythm for 30 seconds. And I'm like, oh, that's not good. And then he shocked her again, and it stayed. Great. So she comes back Tuesday. Everything's fine. She's just resting. I leave. I come back Wednesday morning before the doctors get there. And the cardiologist's physician's assistant comes in. Very nice woman. She's explaining everything to my mom. She goes, listen, this is great news. Your heart rhythm has stayed since yesterday. So this is terrific. And here's what we're going to do, and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, I'm going to talk to the doctor now, and we'll figure out a course of action. Fantastic. She wasn't out of the room for 2 minutes. The nurse comes in. Bad news. Your heart flipped back into AFib. What? I said, the cardiologist just left. She goes, yeah, it's weird. She was in here talking to you when it flipped back. So now the nurse is in there. Now the cardiologist comes back in with the PA and the cardiologist. They're like, yeah, this is, blah, blah, blah. So they switch the medicine. They, switch the IV and all this, and they're explaining everything to her. And again, they were really clear and very good about explaining everything. And the cardiologist, it's all part of a group. My mom sees this one guy, and these were his partners, and came in, and he's like, listen, he's telling her all this stuff. And then he goes, when I was in school, my cardiology professor said that AFib is more a nuisance than a danger. He said, on medication, a lot of people live with it, no problem. So we won't worry. You just need to relax. She was telling me before he came in that while she was up in Minnesota, my brother, number 2, every afternoon enjoys a double espresso. He bought himself an espresso machine. He drinks coffee all morning. Then he makes himself a double espresso sometime in the afternoon. Well, she had been enjoying herself some double espressos as well. And as the cardiologist is talking to her, he goes, and you may want to, you don't have to give up anything, but maybe cut back on some of the coffee. You don't need double espressos every day. And I'm like, my eyes like open like pie plates. I'm like, how does he know? And my mom's eyes open, and she's like, uh-oh. So he leaves, and she goes, you got to text your brother right now. I know he's getting me one of those Nespresso machines for my birthday, and I can't have all those espressos anymore. Like, okay.
Oh man.
So we ended up, they got everything regulated, and Friday they had her on off the IVs and on her medication, and they gave her the choice to stay Friday night to just make sure the new medications, she reacted to them well, and then, or she could go home Friday, and she was like, no, I'm going to wait. I'll go home Saturday. So Saturday after your son left, we went down and picked her up and took her home. And so that's why we weren't here last week. And I was trying to, keep, I posted that we weren't going to do it because I was handling a family emergency, and I was purposely vague. But then that was blown out by some people in the comments who were related and knew the situation, and then, blew the story open. And so another aunt was getting a lot of calls from local people worried about my mom, which was nice. But she's home. Everything's fine. Knock on wood. Back to her old self. So
Yeah, and I don't use
Yeah.
Facebook, so I texted Brian. I was like, "Hey, you want to watch my baby this Friday?" He's like, "Well, I'm at the emergency room," and I'm just like, "Oh my god, why? What's going on?" And like, it's one of those like I never like to pry or ask any kind of personal questions, so
Right.
I keep it vague, like hope everything's fine. Like I'm never like,
Yeah.
what happened? Like
Right.
I'll never directly ask, and you didn't tell me anything. You
Well,
didn't
because yeah, I
say
didn't know.
and
It was my
and
mom, and
yeah, and it's fine. I'm like, hope everything's okay, or whatever. And it's like, so that was kind of that's like just kind of vaguely addressed it that way. But fortunately, yeah, everything was fine. And then I got
yeah,
the full
everything's
report from you
fine.
Friday when I got to your place. So
Yeah. So everything's good, and
yeah,
that's why we weren't here, and that's But we have had some adventures since we were last here.
yeah,
We've had some adventures.
yeah.
I think I can speak for everyone. We are all very curious to see what's going to happen between you and the city. Cody fights the city. Cody vs Chicago.
I sounds like no matter what happens, I'm going to spend a lot of time on hold tomorrow.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun especially because I think I have one meeting every hour for work tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
I think all day. So, they'll probably
Yeah, it's
pick up
going
when
to be a
I'm
trip.
on a call with somebody. So I won't be able to. So we'll see. Yeah, I don't know. But whatever. What can you do? There are worse fates,
Nothing.
but not that many worse fates.
Not that many worse fates.
And hopefully
And-
you'll have a big show-based announcement for us soon if this big email goes.
No, well, this is for something else. This is for I will explain it if it all works out.
Of course.
It's not, unfortunately, it's not for me. I did book a show last night, for April 9th in Lockport, Illinois,
Ooh.
which I'll be teasing later.
Wait, when are your dates that you're gone? Are we missing a show in a couple weeks?
In 2 weeks, I will not be here.
On the 29th. Yeah, you'll be gone.
29th.
Right?
I will be in New Orleans, mother.
Yeah.
I'm going on spring break. I'm going to do
Good
wet
time.
t-shirt contests. I'm going to, do all kind of stuff. We started our a little St. Patrick's Day celebration Saturday after we got my mom all settled. We went to Irish Times in Brookfield, and I forgot that it was the North Side and South Side parades were that weekend. Everything was going on. It was crazy time, and we get there and the place is packed. But as long as it took me to walk to the bar and get us a beer, the hostess had said to Debbie, well, we got a tiny little table, like one of those little round bistro kind of tables up in the other room. She goes, I could seat you right now, or else it might be a couple hours. Debbie's like, take it. So we got there. We look, wow, something's going on with me, Cody. I had 2 Guinnesses, and I was like, I was fine. Then I got home. I sat in the chair. I was asleep within 10 minutes. Maybe I could have been still run down from my babysitting.
Yeah, probably.
Could have been tired. Because the whole day I was identifying trucks and buses and cars and horses and wolf-woofs. There's a lot going on. You doing anything for St. Patrick's Day?
No.
No.
Me
either. I'm making a corned beef, and I bought some Guinness today.
Oh, there you go.
And I'm going to wear all green to school.
Of course
I'm going to be that teacher.
Yeah.
Who wears all green.
You have to. I've got a bunch of I'm finally meeting everyone on my team individually this week, and a couple of them are Thursday, and then I've got there's an all team meeting Thursday. Do I show up in green? I think I have to.
I think in a green shirt, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think a leprechaun costume would be correct, but I think a green shirt is fitting.
Okay. I can do that.
Derby. Maybe your kilt.
Yeah. That's true. Well, it doesn't really show my waist down, which is good because I never wear pants. Your house is decked up. You've got the hall shamrocks days.
Yeah, I did. I felt bad today. I realized I didn't we have some shamrock lights that I usually put in the windows, and I haven't put them up. And I was like, I'm not going to put them up.
Fair.
Well, I can't do the one in the picture window because we've got plastic over it to keep the cold out. So I can't do that window. And then, I have pictures, Marta. I have pictures of my beard dyed green that I've posted many times.
I remember that.
Pictures so I've done that. But yeah, so I always remember there was one teacher in my grade school, Mrs. Murray, and she would dye her hair green on St. Patrick's Day. Now, I don't know why I still remember that, because it made an impression. So maybe I'm that goofy teacher. They already remember that I wear the clown suit on Halloween.
How
and
could
I
they
look
not?
like a dork. Because I'm not afraid to look like an idiot. That's the thing. It doesn't matter to me. So I've got green pants, a green sweatshirt, I've got some green Converse and green socks. So I'll be ready to roll. I'll be green. I could do my hair green, but I'm not gonna.
Well, you know what tomorrow is?
Tomorrow is Wednesday.
3/16.
Wow. You, me, and Stone Cold having some beers.
Back when I cared about Facebook at all or social media, I would always change my profile picture, cover photo to Stone Cold Steve Austin, and then just make nonstop posts about how it was 3/16 in all caps. Yesterday was Pi Day. Forgot about that.
It was Pi Day. I did not participate in any Pi Day puns.
Yeah.
I didn't show pictures of me eating pie. I didn't make off-color jokes about how I enjoy pie. None of those things.
Yeah,
I ignored it.
I'm not a science communicator anymore, so I wasn't required to care.
There you go.
And
so you didn't. I like that. I like that you did not care, even though sometimes you are required to care.
But this is always a big week for me, because 3/14 is Pi Day, 3/16 is me screaming about Stone Cold, 3/17 is St. Patrick's Day, and then 3/19 is my friend Brad's birthday. He's my favorite people, and I might see him this weekend. Long story short, there's a roundabout drug deal happening, but it's legal.
Hold on, what?
I have a friend in some kind of drug related industry, and I guess that they created some test supply of gummies, like, like THC edibles, right?
Yeah.
Well, apparently the batch came out tasting weird, or it was some experiment, and they just had, there's your green beard. Look at that.
No, I don't know why it's popping like that.
I
didn't want it to do that. We're not going to do that. Anyway, so
anyway, long story short, this company he works for, they ended up with like 20,000, tens of thousands of these gummies or whatever, but they're just going to like sell them to the employees, because they're like, well, we can't really like distribute these or anything like that. And the price is low. So since it's in Illinois and it's all legal and on the up and up, and it's all like kind of through the right channels or whatever, I'm going to ask him to maybe bring me a couple. When I say the price is low, I mean that like he's able to buy each of these 10 milligram gummies for about $0.25.
Really?
Yeah, which means you could get 200 gummies for $50. If
wow.
For those who don't buy weed, if you walk into an Illinois dispensary right now, you can get 10 gummies for $45.
Okay.
10. So he can get for $5 more than that. He can get 200.
Really?
Yeah. So this is a very.
How many are you buying? Are you buying any to share?
Well, I'm not really buying any, because I don't know that it's necessarily legal.
Is he giving you some? Is he gifting you some?
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna partake with him. But anyway, he may be around for that, which is pretty exciting. But when I go to see him, I might also visit my buddy. So yeah, a lot going on this week. It's a big week. But it's a big funny week about my friend, and I didn't even. He's in like this weird adjacent industry that I think they manufacture like the actual gummy part, the gum part, more than I don't even know. I have friends that work in mysterious industries, but I just thought it was funny that he could like, and they're not giving him like a limit necessarily. So he's like, I could buy like 1,000 if I wanted to. We're just like,
nice.
Yeah. And March is like, is there a maximum amount one can possess at any single time? Maybe ? There's a limit to how much you can buy, but I don't know about possession limits. Either way, the thing is, since they're milligrams, like, right, you still need 10 milligram edibles. You still need 100 of them to even have a gram. So like you could actually get like 500 and then you have 5 grams of edibles, and that's like 5 grams, right? Like if there is some like total limit, I would guess it's.
Well, I'm sure if you were rated, they would try to, and you had like 2, those big jugs of like cheese puffs. If you had a bunch of those just filled with gummies, they would probably do some sort of intent to distribute charge.
Yeah.
But if you could prove that, no, I eat gummies like fistfuls. Yeah. So I go through about 500 a day. So this is about a week's worth personal consumption. I have an issue.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's no distributing going on like at all, unless it's like I want to taste this or whatever. But that's consenting adults of age that can legally do that in the state. So whatever. I don't know. It's all federally illegal, so it'll be some sting. They'll throw us in jail for buying $2 in gummies or something.
Yeah, this is gonna be exciting. Wow.
Then
So
I can maybe get another
you're gonna be
ticket on
going to
that,
court for a
too.
lot of stuff.
Yeah, a lot of stuff.
This is gonna Cody's legal battles. It's gonna be like the Lenny Bruce trials. You're just gonna come on here and read your transcripts. That'll be exciting.
Be a good time.
Will be a good time.
Yeah. What do you do this weekend? Anything big? Anything preview for next week?
No, I got I got a few trivia games. I got school. We're going out for my mom's birthday on Saturday because everybody was working on Thursday except her. So yeah, that's it. Nothing big yet. Who knows what announcements will come? What adventures we'll get into this week, though.
Who knows?
So I know right now I must draw this to a close because my back teeth are floating. But do you have anything you need to plug?
Nope.
No, me. I don't have any show. I have some upcoming shows that we will plug as they're coming. It was nice. Oh, I will say it was nice to see some people came out to the Kenosha show.
Very nice.
Which that was it was crazy. They were doing a first year of a comedy festival and they're learning and it went. But the room across the hall was packed. But because of a scheduling thing, the room I was in had 13 people. So it was, but people came who had listened to us on the old station. So that was very nice to meet people and say hello. And so I'll keep plugging things as they come. More shows to come, which is nice. Again, we will watch the baby at any time, but have a great week, everybody. Thank you for watching. Thank you for spreading the word. Thank you for listening. Like us, follow us, whatever else you do. Mm-hmm. Have a happy St. Patrick's Day, even if you're not Irish, but do me one favor, don't drink green beer because green beer is not Irish. Green beer does not mean you're celebrating St. Patrick's Day. Green beer means you are a slave to commercialism and a sheep, and you're afraid to drink a real beer. So have a Guinness, enjoy yourself, Sláinte.
Guinness.
Cody?
Guinness. I hardly knew her.
Give us the bye.
Bye. Bye.